Hey everybody, it's Willow and welcome back to Willow Moon Mystical. So today I am going to share with you ways that you can work with and honor the goddess Morgan, at least in the aspect of how myself honors and shows respect to her and works with her. First, let me take off this belt. That belt's for Pele. So I have just a simple goddess figure and I painted her black. And yeah, so I use her for just kind of like she can represent almost any goddess that I want to work with. That's the reason why I painted her black. And one of the first things I want to do is I want to create a belt similar to this one. This is one that was created to represent Pele. So now I want to create a belt to where I can honor Morgan. So the first thing I want to do is I want to use, what do you call it? Stretchy elastic. Yeah, stretchy elastic. For, mainly for, I guess people uses it for bracelet making, but I am not a big one who likes the elastic bracelets. So let me see what I got here. That wasn't such a knot. And did I make it worse from the beginning? No, that's fine. So I'm just going to take about this much. It's about all I'm going to need. Wrap this back up and move it out of the way. Perfect. So I have some different beads here. I have some shiny ones that are like a bluish, and then I have this one which has got purple throughout. And then I have these ones which are like bluish and purple and may represent some of the other tones in between, but mostly they're blue and purple. And these are what I'm going to use. So the Morrigan is an Irish goddess and she's a goddess of war. There is, I have a goddess card on her and it's called the Morrigan. And it says the Morrigan is a Celtic goddess of battle and war, multifaceted and complex. She is also complete triple goddess of life itself, sometimes experienced or portrayed as three sisters. Known as the Great Queen, she is associated with crows and ravens, with deep transformation, with ferocity and self-defense. She is also associated with prophecy and shape-shifting and may appear in many forms with many lessons to teach. Now, she is also known to be of the three sisters, Bab, Mocha, and Nenum. So the three of those together also can be referred to as the hands of fate. So one thing I like about Morgan is Morgan prepares us for battles and will help guide us through them, but she won't fight them for us. So there in itself is a valuable lesson for us to learn. So before I go spilling those out, I do want to see if I can get the elastic to go into this needle, because this is the part that always wants to fight me. See if I can. And this is a thicker elastic than what I normally had. I had ordered two of these. One was thicker than the other. And I had sent a bunch of clay beads off to my granddaughter. And I had put that elastic in with them, that whole roll. And that was the little bit thinner elastic roll. So I kept the thicker one, and I'm having a hard time getting this in here. Let me just see. If not, we'll just roll without. This would be easier, but if I need to roll without, we will. Let's see. Come on now. Let's see if I can cut that one more time on a diagonal and thin that down a little bit. Now that might work there. Let's see if I can pick this back up. There we go. It's going in. Okay, so now I think I got that in there. Yeah. Yep, she's in. And now I need to, I can move her down some because that is not going to come out there too easily. I think I'm just going to kind of like wrap that around my finger. Nope, that ain't going to work. Well, I can do this though. Maybe that will work. I can put that bead on and hold this. You know what? I think I'm going to run over and get a bead clip. So just work with me a second. I'll be right back. I forgot I had brought these out here as I'm going to be doing another video after a while for my other channel, My Beautiful Beaded Journey. So there we go. So I think I want to start these off with these. So I'm going to put some of these in my hand. Let me put that cap back on, or these are going to go everywhere. Okay, let's see if we can bead these up a little bit. Will this go on here? No, it will not. I'm going to have to do these by hand. Okay, here we go. Lay them down. Let's bead these up while we talk about the Morrigan. So like I said, Morrigan works with you, and I like to go to her when I have something coming up, when I have a challenge ahead of me, or a battle that I am facing. Then I like to go to her for guidance, you know, because she's just to help prepare me and get me ready to face this battle or to face this challenge. And she'll guide me through it. She's there every step of the way with me, you know, and offer her protection along the way. But she's self-sovereignty. So, you know, she expects for you to be able to govern yourself and to defend yourself. But she is there for that extra layer of protection and definitely for guidance. And I have worked with her on several occasions in just those ways. And she has been just to be there. Now I have that many on. I'm going to stop and put this on. Okay, and then I'm going to put the other one on. And the reason being is because I'm going to put this one on a pin head with this charm. So let me put some more of these on. These went on a lot quicker than what I thought. I was hoping that needle would work, but it's not. It works with all the other beads, just not these little seed beads. So colors that can be associated with her are red and white and deep blue and purple, and of course black. Some stones that work well with her are rubies and bloodstone, black obsidian, clear quartz, and amethyst. Other things that can represent her is like you can have a spearhead. Oftentimes I will use, instead of a spearhead, I will use a black obsidian arrowhead or a smaller spearhead. I don't know if it's a smaller spearhead or a large arrowhead, but it's black obsidian, and I will use that. And then oftentimes I will use my witch's blade, as it's made from, it's hand forged, made from a file, and I will lay that. I want to see if these will wrap around her now. So let me set her up. I think so. I think, see right there, I have what I'm looking for. And now I think I like to add just one more just to give it some room to grow. Now I'm going to tie this off. And I can never do this very well, but here we go. See, yeah, so I'm going to do this a different way because that's not going to work for me. It never does, dear, never does. Wow, that really is hard to stretch. Okay, that is stretch. Yeah, it's just hard to stretch. Like I said, I think I got the thickest that I could get. Then I got a thinner one, and I shipped the thinner one off to my granddaughter, which is good because it'll be easier for her to work with. Okay, I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to be too worried about this in the back because, like I said, this is just to be on my altar. Let's see now. I'm going to have to stretch and relax. Okay, so I've got that part of it made. I'm just going to have to work with it and stretch this out a little bit. You know why? Because I tell you what it is. I'm not crazy about elastic. But what I should have done is I should have stretched it first. See, the more you stretch it, the easier it gets, and I didn't do that. So I know as I stretch this, there it goes. You can even feel it loosening up right there in your hands. So that'll be good. That is good. I'll work with it. So then what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a pin head, just a small one. And thank you for joining me on this video. Thank you for sticking with me if you are sticking with me. If you are only watching a couple of minutes and moving on, that's fine too. So, and here's what I wanted to do. I think I want to put this on. I wonder if I have a bead cap I could put underneath there. Put just a little more glam. I do have a bead cap. Let's try one of these. These all come out at once, so are you only one there? Not two, because you're falling awful heavy. All right. Yeah, I thought you were heavy. You have to be more and more stuck there, so I'm going to go for another one. There we go. And then I'm thinking of one of these to put there as well. So let's just see what we get. So let's put on our bead cap. There we go. Then we was going to put on a larger bead. How's that fit in there? And don't tag nabbit. I really wanted to use that. I think it would have given it some glam. But that's okay. That's okay. We just will not use one. So let's put this on. No crying over spilt milk. Then we can use this. That's just as good. And then we can put one of these. I think I'll put another purple on top. That works just fine. Then we can, did I bring the clippers? Because I know I'm going to have to clip this down. And guess what? I did not. So hold on. Let me grab the cutters now. If you heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. A hot mess, but I'm a beautiful mess, nonetheless. Okay. Now we'll turn this down. Right here. Ooh. Don't think that's what I intended. Okay. That's good. Do you think well, I'll just use a jumper for that. Yeah, I was thinking maybe let's use a couple of these small ones. I thought maybe I should have put this on here first, but I'll just use a little jumper. I'm good with that. Absolutely. So when I'm working with Morrigan, I can put this belt on my goddess to represent Morrigan. You know, instead of having all kinds of different goddess statues, which I do have a statue to Morrigan, but really, I would just rather keep it put up instead of taking it back and forth. Because if this is, you know, this is a $16 compared to an $80. So for under 20, I'll replace this one as it is to replace the other one, because I like to come out here sometimes on my lanai and set altar to work with her, especially doing divination on guidance for something I'm going through or something, a challenge I'm wanting to take on. And I'll do that on like a full moon or even a new moon because I'm wanting to bring something in. So yeah, you know, it just depends on when I'm wanting to work with her, where I will set up. Now I have this. I wanted to use this. I hope this is big enough. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a tight, tight squeeze, isn't it? We'll get it. There we go. So there you go. Now let me put the rest of these beads back in here. Well, these things are so hard. I really have to use pliers to get them off. I guess that's a good thing. Kind of like stops your beads from just coming out all over the place. But I really think a good way of honoring the different facets of the goddess is by creating different belts, interchangeable. I think that's the American way, interchangeable products. I got a little bit of a mess there, I don't care. So there you go. There's the belt I've created for her. And let me tell you the reason why I used the feather. I used the feather to represent the crows because one of her associations are scavenger birds, such as ravens or crows, and it can even be I think I was told vultures. There you go. There's the belt. And that's why I chose the feather to represent a feather of a crow. Now, you can also put crow feathers on your altar and to honor her. But this is the belt I've chosen to recognize the goddess. And like I said, I can change these belts out depending on which goddess I wish to work with. So that is the belt that I created for her. And then I create a special ritual candle to work with her with. And since her colors can be navy blue and purple, I like to use the purple and the blue. This represents her very well to me. Then I'll just put that into a candle. And then you have your gorgeous figure, but you can also work with different altar cards. So I have this one and it has the Morrigan, and this was given to me by my friend who owns the Stirring Seraph in Hamilton, Ohio. And on the back, there's a prayer to Morgan. It says, Morgan, Goddess of War, Death, and Victory, hear the words I ask of thee. Grant me vision, grant me power, help me help march me through my darkest hour. As the night overtakes the day, Morgan, light my way. Morgan, Raven Queen, round and round the hawthorn green. All my trust I place in thee. With thankful and grateful heart, Morgan, walk with me, blessed be. So then there's this prayer song that you can recite when working with her. And then there is also the one on this card, and this card comes from a set from Bridget's Grove, which is no longer available, but her prayer song here is, listen, I am the great queen, fate whisper through my feathers and winds through the songs of history. I am she who transform, I protect life with ferocity as I walk freely with death. I'm going to have to pause for a second. My little dog's over there wanting to go out, so give me just a second. Thank you for waiting for me. I really appreciate it. So back to where we were. So I just take a couple of chime candles and I choose purple and dark blue, as this represents the Morrigan to me. And I just drip the dark blue onto the purple, and that makes a perfect candle that I burn to honor her and also to seek guidance when I'm working with the pendulum. Now, the pendulum I use when I work with her is either amethyst or obsidian, as some of the stones that are dear to her or sacred to her are bloodstone, black obsidian, amethyst, and clear quartz, and ruby, of course, but I don't have ruby and this kind of a stone, so I'm using these. Now, some herbs to honor her with is hawthorn. So hawthorn berries, hawthorn thorns, and vervain or belladonna. But I am not going to put belladonna on my altar as it is a bane herb. So here we go. Here's some ways that you can celebrate her. You can celebrate her with the goddess, honoring her by creating a special belt that can be interchanged, creating a candle for her. You can have different image altar cards that has images on her, like what I have here. You can have her crystals. I have birds of prey are good for her, the crow, the raven. Um, I was told the vulture, I know an eel is, so is the wolf, I believe. So here I have a raven skull, and that's what I use. You can use you can use feathers of a crow or of a raven. So that's the reason why I put a feather on this belt. And then other things that you can use is a skull, as she is of death and rebirth. Then there's prayer songs that you can gather for her, and you can even write poetry unto her, as I have. And I brought that out to share with you, but before I do, I would like just to set this up. So oftentimes I'll use a purple, a black, or a purple and dark blue altar cloth. And I've always been saying I wanted to create an altar cloth for Morgan, but I haven't done it yet. So then there's the candle. I will set I don't know how well this is in view. I'm going to bring this down some, and I may pause and take the camera to show it to you up front. So then I will set the skulls of the raven and the skull of human. And then I'll have like my altar cards here with her. And then I'll have some larger quartz I set up in the back. And these are just some things I keep in a little box, not a big box, but things to when I work with her, I can just pull them out as such. And then I will set these up just in front and around her as such. Then I'll burn an incense for her, of course. And then I'll read the prayer cards as the candle burns. And then I may take some hawthorns and lay and set on here, or whatever just strikes me at the time. So then here is the altar, and while I know you may be able to look down and see this and get an idea, I'm going to read a couple of the poems that I've written for her. Then I will bring you around. I'll try to, and show you the altar all in itself. So first, let me begin with a couple of prayer songs that I wrote for Morgan that I like to read when I'm working with her, as in respect for her. The first one is called The Great Phantom Queen. Come teach me, great phantom queen of transformation, shapes shifting, and things unseen. Assist me in calibrating life challenges. Fight not my battles for me, but rather lend me guidance. By the river there set three, life, death, fate, which shall it be? Listen to the winds through my wings. There is the song that fate must sing. I walk freely among the shadows without fear, but with the veracity of sweet deliverance. That's the first one I wrote for her. And then I wrote a second one, and this one is called The Crows Are Calling. The crows are calling. Cawing. Call. The crows are calling. The crows are cawing. I hear their mighty wings in flight. One lands across from me. Into the depths of her eyes I can see my reflection. The songbirds hush and scurry to flight as they are fearful of the crow's plight. Why, crow, do you come to me? What is it you wish of me? Dark as night and just as bold, what's the message to be told? A soft call and a quick blink. Is that the Morgan in that wink? Not one a one, but three a three, Bab, Mocha, and Nemen I do see. Is that you who calls me great warrior queen? I'll come, let this journey begin, O Morrigan. So there are two of the poems I've written to her myself. So I may read both of these, plus the two I've written for her. And if I feel inspired and moved, it's not hard for me to take to pen to begin another poem or writing unto her. So now